Suspend your license from here. It's called tough love. It's an honor for me to be here with you today. And before we begin, I'd like to introduce you to some individuals who are worth mentioning. Lisa Dotson, Gift of Hope Donor Network, where is she? All present accounted for. Lori Dvorak, Springfield High School. Thank you. Stacy Butler, heart recipient and employee in the administrative hearing division for the Secretary of State's office. Thank you. Mark Mason, liver recipient, employee, Secretary of State Police. Ted and Jay Landers, you're always with us. The donor families, donor parents. Memorial Medical Center transplant team. Thank you. It's a good day. Connie Volkman, the director of the Organ Tissue Donor Program. Where's Connie? Mark Mayer, driver services manager here, or director, Supreme Commander of the Blue Hall East Bay. You're right. President Congress. And Michael's on the committee in Springfield, Illinois. Every year, during the month of April, we meet and we promote the new organ donor tissue effort to encourage everyone within the state of Illinois to seriously consider becoming a part of this wonderful program. This year, we have 138 offices, and within those 138 offices, we are asking everyone who live within those facilities or near those facilities or take part in getting their driver's license or state IDs to come there and seriously consider becoming a part of this program. And one of the things that we've done that is unique, and that is we are asking and demonstrating see, life goes on. We will have countertops, and the countertop at the facility will be of a person who lives in that particular locale. And what we're doing is we will tell their story, and also have that picture there to let them know that the organ tissue donor program is local. Here in Illinois, there are 5,000 people on the waiting list as we speak, and each year about 300 people die because the organs have not arrived in a timely manner. But we're also proud of the fact that we have 5.9 million people who have tried to become organ donors. You may not have a need today, you may not have a need tomorrow, but sometime during your lifetime, you're someone that you may know will have a need for an organ, and we just hope that when that moment arrives, that there'll be an adequate supply of organs available. Many times we think of a hero as being someone who has helped to extricate someone from an automobile crash, save someone from drowning, rescue someone from a fire. Those are the heroes that we normally think of. But I have another list of wonderful heroes. The doctor at the Laurel Medical Center in Chicago donated her kidney to a patient. A teacher in New Lakes, Illinois donated her kidney to a student. A teacher in Texas, Dallas, Texas to be specific, donated her kidney to her kindergarten student's father. And then I coach a team called the Jesse White Tumbling Team. We've been around for exactly 58 years. And one of my toes was coming out of the Ford City Mall was shot and killed by a gangbanger. And as a result of that tragic situation, 6 of his organs were used for transplantation purposes. And then another friend of mine who worked for the county cook passed away, and 9 of organs and tissue parts were donated. And one gentleman received the corners of eyes, so now you can see. So there's a lot to be said about this wonderful, wonderful program. There are a number of myths that are out there. People will say, well, while I'm on life support, the doctor will not put forth a genuine effort to save me. Well, that's a myth because your doctor has a commitment to you and to you only. His mission is to save you or help you improve your quality of life and save your life. And then someone will say, well, they'll sell my organs. Well, we don't sell organs in this country. That's against the law. We will not do that. Or they'll say because of religious reasons, I cannot participate most of the religions in the Western world participate in this wonderful program. Well, they'll say the rich man is going to get his organs before I get mine. There's a certain order that we follow, and we dare not deviate from it. And then they'll say, well, I may not look good in my going away. Well, morticians have it down to a science. You know what I'm talking about. They know how to make you look presentable. So please, don't buy into the myths. Decide to become a part of this wonderful, wonderful program. People who come to one of my 138 facilities will be asked, like, become an organ donor. We'd ask them to sign up and be a part of it. And then if by chance you're at home and you want to use your telephone, you can dial 1-800-210-2106, 1-800-210-2106. Or if you know your computer, it's www.lifegoeson.com, www.lifegoeson.com. I'd like to share with you a personal story, if I may. I had a brother who was not feeling well. He was a pharmacist at the Lakeside VA Hospital in Chicago. And my mother kept saying, your brother isn't feeling well. He's complaining about a headache. And I'd like for you to help me to get him to the doctor. And I put it off for weeks. And then finally, she grabbed me by the arm, and I said, okay, fine, we'll take him to the doctor. I said to her, he's a pharmacist. And certainly he should know how to take care of a headache. But as it turned out, he was suffering from an aneurysm. So we took him to the University of Chicago Hospital. They put him on life support. And that night, a gentleman from the Regional Organ Bank of Illinois asked if by chance he happens to pass away, can we use his organ for transplantation purposes? And I said, no, don't bother me, don't bother him, don't bother us, leave us alone. I was unaware of the program at the time. I was a lawmaker, and was not the Secretary of State, which meant that this did not come under my jurisdiction. So he passed away that night, and 2 days later we buried him. And then 2 years later, my sister became ill, was in dire need of a kidney, and there was not a match within the family, and so she put her name on the organ teacher donor list. And 2 years later, thanks to someone who donated their kidney to her, she's alive and well, and she's out singing the praises of the Organ Teacher Donor Program. So please do all you can to encourage your friends, your neighbors to join with us in support of this wonderful, wonderful program. We have a few people who are here. We have Mr. Mark Mason. He is an employee of the Secretary of State's office. And he is a recipient of a liver. And we have a countertop that we're going to place in our facilities so that when people come in, they'll know that the program works well, because there's a person who is alive today, who live in their community, who received a gift, or someone who may have donated a gift. Mark, could you come forward? This is his countertop. Mark? As they would say in the neighborhood, in my neighborhood, you the man.
Thank you. Good morning to everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
On behalf of the National Donor Tissue Month, it's an honor to be before you and to speak to you in honor to the Honorable Secretary of State Jesse White, who's the leader in Illinois for promoting the donor tissue program. And because of this program, I'm allowed today so that y'all can see how happy I am. In 1992, I was diagnosed with primary sclerosing cholangitis. To make a long story short, it's a chronic liver disease that eventually leads to liver transplant. And it was a rough battle, and my condition worsened, and I was fighting cancer, and I got all the way down to less than a week to live. Now, when you get told that you got a condition, especially a liver condition, a lot of what ifs goes through your mind. They really do. And you be concerned about a lot of things. You feel like you're going to miss out on life. You're not going to be able to see the grandkids grow up, the kids grow up and everything. But all that was turned around. Faith, blessing, the donor program. After I was given less than a week to live, the very next day, a liver came through to me. I'll be forever grateful to the donor and the family for honoring the donor's wishes. And because of that, I received the gift of life. It means a lot more to me. If y'all only knew my been through, you will understand my breakthrough. I'm able to climb stairs. I don't have to be hooked up to no devices to help keep me alive. I'm able to breathe. I'm able to smile. I'm able to enjoy myself. And I'm able to share my experience with others. Because a lot of times when people get told that they're facing a possible life or death-threatening situation, a lot of people can't deal with it. Thanks to the organ tissue program, you get educated and know what's to be expected. And it helps to motivate others to become a donor. In my situation, that's what happened. That's what happened. When I was diagnosed with this liver condition, I got educated real fast. I got educated real fast. And, you know, when I received that liver, my whole life took a 180-degree turn. I was no longer in pain. I was no longer itching. I was no longer feeling cold and hot. I was able to begin to start back eating. And of all things I like to do, I like to also roller skate. But you know, I give praises to God because not only did this take effect on me, my family, but it also took effect on a lot of co-workers because they got a chance to see my condition go down the drain. And it's a blessing for them to be able to see that not only did I receive a transplant, but I'm back at work with the one job in my life that I always wanted, and that's with the Secretary of State. And that's where donors like yourself come in handy, because you have to extend life and you give life. We all know life is not an easy thing when you got a loved one that's suffering, and as the Secretary of State mentioned earlier in so many ways, you never know. When you need a transplant, time is of essential, and you never know when that fireman that rushed to your house to get you out your house or your kids, the police officer who saved your life dealing with an accident, get medical help, the EMT, Memorial Hospital, hospitals all around the world, the doctors, the teachers, everyone in a professional field, time is of essence. Them same people, many of them are here today because some of them received a transplant. Whereas had they not been here and they wasn't on the scene, your loved ones could have been gone. So I definitely urge everybody to definitely, if you're not a donor, become a donor. The life you save may be one of your own loved ones, maybe one of your grandkids. Life go on, and that's something that we need to continue to do. And I'm just grateful to be able to share that with y'all. I live to tell the story. It wasn't my time to go. It wasn't my time to go. Y'all need to be able to see for yourself with your own eyes that things work out for the best. Okay? Now, I don't know how many of y'all believe in miracles, but you're looking at a walking miracle.
What Mark is really saying is, it's better to be seen than viewed. This is your countertop. And this is your blue book. And the blue book contains a wealth of information about the state of Illinois. It has a listing of all 118 state representatives and 59 state senators, and all of the constitutional officers, the governor, the lieutenant governor, attorney general, the secretary of state, comptroller, and treasurer, and the congressman, U.S. senators, the bird, the plant, the animal. It makes for great bedtime reading. We have another young lady, another recipient, and she received a heart. She's a Secretary of State employee, and her name is Stacy Butler. Stacy.
Morning. I stand before you today because of the organ donor program. A donor saved my life. My name is Stacy Butler, aka HT 674. HT is for heart transplant. 674 is the number of hearts transplanted at Barnes Jewish Hospital where I was. It was such an experience, unbelievable, as Mark was explaining, just out of this world. I'm so blessed to be here because of an organ donor. I just, it's amazing. You wake up, the minute I woke up, I was like, oh my God, I got my life back. I can breathe. I played volleyball 8 months after the fact, and it was just amazing. And I could exercise, I could walk my dog and run around the yard with my grandchildren. So for that, I cannot tell the great Secretary of State for his work and accomplishments in this organ donor program. Thank you. I cannot thank you enough. Please.
Thank you very much, Stacy. This is your countertop, and inside this little pocket will be a series or a large number of forms where individuals could take the form. It'll take about a minute to fill out your name, address, city, zip code, and then your driver's license number or your state ID. And we'll take that information and put it into our database. So when that time comes, your organs can be used for transplantation purposes, but more than that, we will put you into our database so that everyone will know that you are an organ donor. It will also be displayed on your driver's license as well. There's an outline of the state of Illinois on your driver's license. It'll say donor inside if you have signed to become a donor. If you have not signed up, then you will not see the state on your license, nor will you see where it says donor. So please, seriously consider becoming a part of this program. Stacy, we're glad to have you on board, and we just hope that and believe and thank you for what we know you're going to do, and that is continue to live a long and productive life, but make sure you share your experiences with others and encourage them to become a part of this meaningful program.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
A little sensitivity training there. We have Jay Landers. He's part of a donor family. He's a donor parent. He'd like to talk about his experiences with the organ and tissue donor program. Jay?
Can I come up too?
Yeah, as they would say in my Italian neighborhood, the border use.
Good morning. It's a privilege to be here. We always are so grateful to Secretary White and to Lori Dvorak, who is a teacher at Springfield High. Through them, we get to have an outlet to speak about organ and tissue donation. We're on the flip side of the coin, being a donor family, donor parents. Life, you make plans, life takes over. Our son believed in second chances. He approached me shortly before he crashed his car and said, if anything happens to me, I want you to be an organ donor. My reaction was not good. It was a mom's reaction. I didn't know anything about the program. And I said, oh, Ryan, no. This was a gift from Ryan. He had made the decision. He knew what he wanted to do. He knew what needed to be done. And we have seen results. We have heard the results. We have hugged the results. Thank you.
I just want to say Ryan has saved 61 people, 12 states in Korea, a third of them here in Illinois. And we've had a privilege to be in Lori Dvorak's class now for 8 years, speaking to driver ed students. And that's over 3,500 students that we've had a chance to meet. No telling how many she's spoken to, probably 5 digits, 6 digits. But we really appreciate the release and the outlet as a donor family to share the story.
They're with us all over the state of Illinois. tell their story about the gift that was given to someone else so that the other person could live a long and productive life. We also have a lady here who works at a wonderful institution of learning. It's called Springfield High, where I know for a fact that teaching is taking place and learning is in the equation. And she is a rapid education instructor, and she talks with the students who are going to get their license. I remind the students too that he who giveth can't take it away. I guess you know the rest of the story. Because we take away over 750,000 driver's licenses a year for individuals who violate the spirit of the law. And so Lori has been doing this work for a period of about 15 years. And we just want to applaud, commend, and thank her for giving a caring spirit and for making a difference in the lives of those who are in need. Right?
Try to make this quick. I just want to say that this is a different platform. My role as a driver's education teacher at Springfield High gives me a great opportunity to use that to educate the young and importance of the organ donation each day. I do have to say that without Jay and Pat Landers, I feel that their personal story just hits home more than anything I could ever say to anybody. So really, thank you so much for that opportunity. Their story has made an impact on my life as well as all the kids that have come through Springfield High. That's thousands, I think it's about 13,000 so far at some point. So I'm honored to be just even thought of to even be up here and to speak to anybody about this, because I think that's all I do all day. But I really appreciate to use this platform, and the driver's education is a great way to spread this word. And Jesse White, Secretary of State, appreciate it.
Thank you. And by the way, for an individual to decide to become a part of this program, they must be 18 years of age. However, their organs can be donated at a younger age, and they can be a recipient of an organ at a younger age, but they cannot donate or sign up to become a part of this program until they reach the age of 18. So you're never too old to participate in this program, because I think I heard someone say that a lady about 95 years of age gave 3 of her organ and tissue parts to individuals. She's no longer here, but her organs are still living in the body of someone else. So there's a lot to be said about this program. And so with that, I'd like to present a plaque to Bailey Roseberry, the Supreme Commander of the Root of All Sheets today here at this wonderful, wonderful facility. She is the facility manager, and I'm all present accounted for. And then the lady who organized this event today, her name is Liz Hager, and she has been in the Secretary of State's office for more years than I care to mention. She's been a part of the Organization Donor Program, known statewide, known all over the state of Illinois for her commitment to this wonderful program. And parents have thought as to what would be today without her advice, counsel, and assistance. So Liz, can you come forward? Let's take a picture. I'd like for her to just say 1 or 2 words.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. You know, it's not very often that we can have a job. When we go home at night, we feel like we've done something for somebody else. And that's why I love my job. I hope I stay as long as the Secretary stays, at least. And I do feel like that I've helped a lot of people along the way. I've made so many wonderful friends, recipients, donor family members, co-workers, procurement people. I have a place to stay anywhere in the state of Illinois. So thank you very much for coming today, and thanks to Secretary White for the great job he does. Bye.
The blessing of Christ is one of the sharpest knives in the drawer. So, are there any questions I'd like to ask of me? Anyone?
Mr. Secretary, thanks for having us.
WBBM.
That's right. Now, you've saved a lot of money on stamps this year, as we all know. But with regard to the budget, is there a budget impasse impacting this program?
No, they set aside the monies that we need in order to do our commercials. We have radio commercials as well as television commercials that are out. And they realize the fact that knives are pretty important, I guess. And so they show us some love.
Now, also, we see your picture when we come get our license renewed, and license plates and a lot of other things that are kind of obscure. How did it come to pass that you're involved in this program?
This is a part of my duties. I run the largest Secretary of State office in the nation. And back when my brother wasn't feeling well, and he ended up losing his life, and then my sister received her gift, then my eyes became open, and I realized the value and the importance of the organ tissue donor program. So someone said that, I'm Secretary of State, do you know anything about the organ tissue donor program? I said, yes, I do, because I've been there, done that, know that I was there when I said no. And I was there jumping up and down when my sister received her gift. Then I realized the importance of this wonderful program.
So it's already in statute that whoever is the Secretary of State administers the program?
Yes, matter of fact, George Ryan, Jim Edgar, the previous Secretary of State, had the same responsibility. And it's
I
one
have a
one that I enjoy.
question.
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't it a good idea to let your family know ahead of time that you're an organ donor, so then in the event that you're in the hospital, that, there's no conflict as far as, the family says, oh, well, no, we don't want to do it. But if you state your intentions on your driver's license and you tell them the sides, then everything should go smoothly.
Yeah, that's very nice, ma'am. That's a contract. That's it. When you sign up, become a part of this program, you're saying that no matter what, I want my organs donated. That is your wish. And if you do that, I hope you have signed up. Have you signed up?
Yeah,
You had a great question. I just wanted to make sure that we had you sign up on the dotted line. Well, thank you, ma'am. I just hope that you would share that information with your friends so that they too can participate in this program. So, any more questions? Well, with that, I just want to thank all involved for participating with us today. To Ms. Connie Boatman, Director, and to Liz Hager, and to all the recipients, and all of the donors, and all of the people who want to donate, and all the ones who are wishing those in need well. Thank you for giving, thank you for caring, and thank you for making a difference. And then we also remember, too, that when we work together, wonderful things happen. And so wonderful things are happening here in Illinois. We're moving on to 6 million people signing up. Right now it's 5.9. But we expect any day now to surpass that with 6.0. So enjoy the rest of the day. Love your fellow man and woman. Follow my philosophy of life. That is, when you come to this world and become successful, you give back and you do something good for someone every day. Thank you.